Hi everyone, Sajid Amit here, and welcome to my review of this beautiful little nostalgia-evoking toy, which also doubles up as a DAC amp, which is just astounding because I've never seen something like this. It is so cute. Guys, I grew up in the 80s and all the robots used to be able to buy as toys, or robots you saw in films used to look like this. I mean, they didn't have a tube for brains, but this was essentially what they looked like in terms of their silhouette and the structure. And this is super cute, and honestly speaking, this is also phenomenal sounding for the price. It comes in at $279, and with that you get a DAC, a tube amp, and something that looks extremely adorable and sounds great for the price that you can just leave on your table. It's weight distribution is fantastic. It's made out of a single piece of aluminum processed with CNC technology. And it has a very thoughtful weight distribution, so it's heavier at the bottom and lighter on the top, which ensures that it's stable on your desk. And it drives a whole bunch of things because this has an output power of 1.5 watts, which honestly can be used to drive almost anything under the sun, with the exception of a few headphones like a Susvara or an Abyss 1266 5TC. Although I did try the Abyss with this and it sounded pretty great. And maybe the Modhouse Tungsten, but it does drive everything else, I think, pretty decently. The DAC chip is a CS43131 DAC chip, and they say it has high resolution decoding. I was pretty impressed with the resolution, guys, honestly, for this price. The tube is a 12AU7, and you can, of course, roll this. So this cute little thing is a tube for brains, and it does warm up the sound, give it a sense of soundstage width. And it has Bluetooth 5.4 with aptX HD, aptX Adaptive, LDAC, and LE audio support. In terms of other specs, guys, this comes in with the power brick, so the power input is at the back. And you'll also see a USB-C input right here. So the power input, it comes with a power brick that can be used in 110 volt countries to all the way to 240 volt countries. So I'm pretty happy with the fact that this is a universal voltage product. And it supports Windows, Linux, Mac OS X, iOS, Android. So that's extremely useful. And finally, it has amazing signal to noise ratio for a product of this price point and caliber of 116 decibels and a 1-year warranty from xDuoo. I have not reviewed a lot of xDuoo products, which is something you'll know if you followed my channel, but I do hope to change that with the help of Apos Audio. A big shout out to Apos Audio for working with me on this review. Apos Audio, I've bought stuff from them before. They're a phenomenal outlet to buy stuff from. And a big shout out to Apos Audio for their, wonderful service. They're great to work with. They're super friendly. They're some of the most professional people I've worked with. And I will leave links to this so you can buy it from Apos Audio. It's not a link that I'll get any money from, but I do suggest that you try out Apos Audio because I've had nothing but some of my best experiences buying with them. And I rate them very highly. So Apos Audio, big shout out to you. Kudos to you for hooking me up with this. Now to talk about his sound, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you live stream of consciousness perceptions from different tracks that are well worn and well known to me. I'm using Roon connected from my PC as my Roon core all the way to this. And I will tell you what it sounds like. But before I do that, I just want to show you a couple of very cute little things on this. So if you raise its hand, it goes to on, you lower it this way and it switches off. And similarly, on the right-hand side, you can choose between USB and Bluetooth by either moving its hand up, in which case it goes to USB, or moving its hand down, in which case it goes to Bluetooth, which I'm not going to do because it's set up to play USB. And there's little switches on the sides, on the right side of its head, you press to get the volume to go up, and this one for the volume to go down. So my point is that this is so well designed. It just wasn't a random experiment. Like whoever designed this with a lot of love and thought, because even the usability is congruent with his aesthetics. And I find that amazing. Okay, now to talk about sound, guys, I'll first play Battery from Metallica. Heavy metal is not something a lot of you listen to, but the reason why I want to play Battery is that, and this is the version with Michael Kamen conducting the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra and live at the Berkeley Hall, because that does token for soundstage dynamics and a whole bunch of things. And I know the track very well, so I can give you a sense of what it sounds like on the basis of that track, Battery, But I will play some male vocal tracks, some female vocal tracks, some basic tracks, and give you my overall impression at the end. Okay. I'm using my Focal Clears because that's a headphone I know very well. I've owned it for about 5 years, so I can give you a sense of what this sounds like quite easily. Playing Battery. Take a minute. Take a minute. I just have to lower the hand and raise it because I've used it in the Bluetooth mode before. And now music is playing. The first impression I get is that there is a very evident notion of stage depth with this, which is, I think, greater than what I'm used to for products at this price point. So that I feel is very impressive. And I'm going to turn the volume up. And the volume is reasonably high at this point. Great timbre. The lead guitar sounds very lifelike. I do get a sense of an enormity of stage, which is just, honestly speaking, not something I expect from a product at this price point. And it's a great crat, great percussive hits, great rhythm. This sounds very bassy. This has this very, lifelike sort of prat. So that's something I keep coming back to. It sounds very punchy, dynamic, fast. And resolution is great for the price. It's not something that, obviously will compete with, let's say, my $20,000 AIC Riviera. But it is very noticeably good for the price. Play. Guys, I own a lot of high-end Summit 5 stuff, but I would keep this for sound alone, all this $280. It sounds extremely coherent and cohesive. I sense no grain in mid-range or treble. I sense no flabbiness from bass. I sense no, a dearth of resolution. Just somehow this is playing everything really well. So now I want to move on to another track. It's called Pieces by Rob Thomas from the album The Great Unknown, to test for male vocals. It's got a very melodic song here. It starts with a piano, which sounds timbrally very nice, rich. His voice comes through perfectly. Tubey goodness. I sense micro nuances in his voice. Guys, this sounds perfect. Rob Thomas Pieces sounds perfect. So what's really impressive about this is its soundstage. Somehow it sounds wider and deeper than any product I've ever tried at a sub $500 price point. And it is a DAC and an amp. And the tube pre-stage does seem to work because I'm getting a lot of richness in the vocals and warmth. But I'm also getting very good separation because I'm hearing Rob Thomas's voice in the foreground and all the other instruments in the background in ways that usually sound very congealed and nasty on a lot of topping products and all that. This is a standout product in the sense. Okay, I want to play a different track now. Maybe I'll play a little bassy number, Go-Go Penguin Murmuration from the album V2.0 Deluxe Edition. The bass hits coming from a distance, very accurate replication of soundstage depth. And as the drum hits get louder, I'm just fast forwarding. I know this track really well. Extremely very good separation from drum hits and the bass guitar. It sounds extremely mature, extremely polished, extremely sophisticated. And my goodness, the after effects, the trailing end of tones of the bass guitar, very, very prominent. It sounds like a $500 product, guys, and looks like $1 million. So this would be a perfect gift for someone if you do want to gift something to an audiophile friend or husband, because it looks extremely cute. Pianos are just very mellifluous here, and the lines are also well separated from between the piano, the bass guitar, and the drums. Deep sub bass extension. Okay, one last track, Take Me to Church acoustic version by Sofia Karlberg to test for female vocals. And this is something I'm excited about. Well, lo and behold, it does play female vocals really well as well. Great micro nuances, micro dynamics in her voice, little inflections in her voice are coming through. Timbrally just perfect. So cheap products don't get timbre right. xDuoo does. Yeah, it's crazy. The micro vibrations in her voice captured to perfection. Some of these products actually raise the bar for higher end products. Okay, so that's it, guys. I don't know how credible this will sound, but for $280, this is perhaps the best thing I've ever come across. And it obviously doesn't have a very typical form factor. And this form factor may or may not be for everyone. But I mean, sound-wise, this is pretty flawless. There's nothing in the sub bass or mid bass or upper mids or lower mids or lower treble or upper treble that, was not working for me. Everything sounds right. It sounds transparent. It sounds on the richer side while not losing transparency. I don't sense an overly warm presentation, but I do sense the treble is somewhat polite, but extended. And I do get, and in terms of soundstage, this is perhaps not what I expect from a product of this size and this price point. It does soundstage exceedingly well, as it does imaging for that matter, and even resolution. Guys, that's it for me. But for $280, do check this out. If you want something, that looks like this, to stand on your desk and just, sing to you and give you some great musical moments, I mean, this is a no-brainer. Again, a big shout out to xDuoo and Apos Audio for making this review possible. I really am grateful to you guys because I loved listening to this and I loved reviewing this and I loved my time with this and playing with this. And I do recommend this without the slightest reservation. Sajid Nami signing out and stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.